What are some of the absolute pleasures that you experience being polyamorous?
Some of the absolute pleasures. I think knowing, well, there's a couple of pleasures. One is knowing that I have a partner, that we have a stable, loving relationship that's not threatened by the possibility that I could, or he could have feelings for someone else, is I guess a great pleasure. I don't feel the fear. And it sounds crazy. People say, "Aren't you worried that he might find someone that he likes better, or you do, or especially that he'll find someone to trade up or something?" And I think that's almost more of a fear in a monogamous relationship, because I know I feel pretty stable where we are and what we're doing and what we have in our family, but it doesn't preclude, I guess, those natural feelings. And I think it's hard for most people to be everything to their partner. So I think that's a great pleasure. I mean, some people are monogamous. I can't say that's for everybody, but for me that is a great pleasure, knowing that possibility exists. There's the pleasure of knowing that I don't often pursue it, but should there be someone who enthralls me so much that I want to try to have another relationship, its possibilities there. I don't have to use it, but I have one friend who was sort of quite sad. He thought, well, for the rest of my life, for the next 30 or 40 years, there's just one sexual partner I will have, or one person I can be that close to. And some people revel in that, but for others, that maybe kind of seems like a sentence in a way. Or sometimes it's a bit of both, I guess. But I guess that's that other pleasure, just the ability to get close to somebody, really close to someone else. The possibility, aside from the person that you're, perhaps if you're in a stable relationship. So, and I should just add that sometimes people don't have to do this from a stable relationship. You could be seeing 2 or 3 partners and live on your own and have that possibility as a polyamorous lifestyle. And there could be a pleasure in that as well, of saying, I want to be open and loving and dating and seeing 3 people who I feel close to, and I don't have to make that choice.
Is David now polyamorous? Because at the time of the documentary, he was still pretty monogamous.
Yeah, he's been quite staunchly monogamous for a long time. But in the past year, there was a very persistent person who was actually involved with Will for the past 2 years, who kind of told David she was interested in him, and interestingly enough, he decided that he was going to give it, if he thought if I was okay with it, and I could not be okay with it after all my, talk about polyamory and my actions. And so for the past, I guess it's been about 6 or 8 months, he's been involved with another person as well. So I guess he's going to have to give up that title of being the staunch monogamist.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that Will also has another partner right now?
Actually, it sounds crazy, but there's a bit of jealousy, because people always ask about that in polyamory, and I'm certainly not someone who doesn't experience that. I do have a little bit of it. Is she? Maybe she's this. Maybe she's prettier than me. Oh, she's thinner than I am. That's usually not hard. Or whatever the problem is, that you somehow imagine the other person has better qualities. Sometimes it's really shallow. Sometimes it's more profound. But once I got past that, I was actually, in a sense, relieved, because I do have a family and live with David, and Will's single, living at this point. I should just say, I guess it's going to be part of the film, but he's living by himself, and it made me happy that he had another partner, someone to, because we live so far away. But I thought it's good that he has someone else close to him.
Now I have to ask you this. You have a daughter that you're raising with David?
I do.
And
another one on the way, actually. Another child on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I wish you and your family all the best health.
Thanks.
I have to ask you this. Has there ever been any question about the paternity of your first child, given that you were dating both David and Will?
Yeah. Again, anyone who's ever seen the film or knows our lifestyle, that's always... Gosh, people are nosy. That was one of the first questions they ask. Is it Dave's kid? I think my father asked that too. I was like, yes, it is. Because we live in a very modern age, and you can, we chose to that with Will, that I was, use birth control methods that would ensure that we would not get pregnant, and the opposite with David. We didn't want to have a child. Will did not want to be at that time want to be the father of a child, and lives far away. David very much did want to be. So that's it was much more practical to have a child with someone you are, connected to day, as opposed to someone who lives 1,000 miles away. So yes, we do get that question, and I will state for the record that Anika, my daughter, is David's child, but Will is her very, very doting and loving uncle.
And what about the second child? Any possibility that it might be Will's?
No, it's still David. Still Will's, Will's still, although Will's now thinking, after being exposed to all these babies, his other partner, Anne, has 2 children, and he's discovered, he thought he never wanted to have kids. He didn't particularly think he liked kids, but he's discovered he really does adore babies and children, and he can't believe how mushy he's become about it, and is now thinking maybe it's not so crazy idea of being a father. But up until this time, he was quite determined not to be a father. So that's where we've kept it.
Maureen, it's been absolutely great having you on the show.
Oh, well, thanks. I always enjoyed talking with you, Frank.
And we have a lovely parting gift for you. It's a bottle of sparkling wine.
Big enough to share at least 3 ways.
Absolutely, big enough to share at least 3 ways. And I certainly hope that you'll raise a glass after your child is born. And remember Frank Talks, and we invite you back to talk to us again about polyamory.
Well, thank you so much, and we will raise a toast to you, Frank, for that.
And why don't you give your website address one more time for anybody who's listening who wants to pick up a DVD copy of that documentary?
Sure. Our website is picturethis.ca, www.picturethis.ca for Canada, and this documentary is called When Two Won't Do, about polyamory and exploration thereof.